Um, Mystique is actually not Nightcrawler's mother. She's his father. Yeah, because
Oh, wait. I
she,
know
yes,
this.
because she transforms into a man. She just takes the form of Azazel,
Yeah.
Mhm.
specifically to impregnate her lover, Destiny, a female mutant that isn't in the cartoon at all, but she is like a lesbian. They're a couple, and she can see the future, and she loves Mystique anyway, even though Mystique constantly does horrible things. Um, and to create a baby, she like disguised herself as Azazel. So for years, the theory was that Azazel was the dad and Mystique was the mom, but no, it was Mystique taking on Azazel so that her child would have Nightcrawler's powers. Like she genetically engineered him into being by choice. Um,
Hmm.
if you're trying to picture Azazel and you're not a comic book nerd like me, he was played by Jason Fleming in X-Men First Class, where they do
Yeah.
that Nightcrawler's dad is Azazel and the mom is Mystique because they are with Magneto when he leaves at the end of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mhm.
Yeah, plus you can kind of see it, like they have the same snapping out of in and out of reality
Yeah,
and the blue of it
they
all.
have the teleportation thing, right? And that's all it was meant for audiences to be able to pick up that's Nightcrawler's dad.
So Azazel, that's the guy that lives in a dimension like hell, but it's not hell,
Yeah,
right?
Limbo.
Limbo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So he's
think it's
basically like
pronounced
red Night.
Limbaugh.
Family Ties, which was written by Marley Clark and aired May 4th, 1996. Even though it's from early in the fourth season, it was presented as the season finale for season four.
I have said it once and I'll say it again. I want the weed that they were smoking in the studio when they were making these episodes. They're like, yeah, just throw this one out. Let's just do it. Let's go, go, go.
Also, this one is almost like word for word, just an adaptation of the same story happening in an Avengers annual
Yeah.
or something. It's not even really an X-Men story.
It's
Like, we haven't seen Scarlet Witch at all before.
Is this her intro?
Yeah, she just shows up. I don't even think she's been drawn into the background of anything.
I don't think so.
And we're just like expecting to just understand right away that she's Quicksilver's teacher, even though Quicksilver didn't even fucking say anything in his first appearance in full comfort. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Anyway, the number one song was the 1 week reign of the best Mariah Carey song. Yeah, Always Be My Baby. Fucking
It's
banger.
not the best Mariah
Yeah,
Carey
it
song,
is.
but
It's my favorite, ergo it's the best.
yes, and
Mm.
that is where that's where it differs. It's not the best one,
The best
but
one is actually Fantasy, where Old Dirty Bastard cuts in halfway through. Because he
that's
just
actually
literally just wandered into the studio when they were recording, and he's like, "Can I lay something down?" They're like, "Yeah, you
that
can."
no, and that is the best song strictly because of that. Because Old Dirty Bastard, famously a drunk person who used to hang out in a lot of studios, just kind of
Mhm.
wandered through and laid down a verse.
Okay, correct. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
That is the best song and that is the best story.
100%.
Always Be My Baby is number two for me still. I love that song, the way they vocal layers.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It is like that. And I'm a huge fan of Honey because I really like that little era where pop stars were just singing about jizz and they were allowed to do that because they
Mhm.
It
called it
was a very
Honey.
sexual era.
Yep.
Um, also, it partially inspired one of my favorite Netflix movies, Always Be My Maybe.
And
Great fucking movie. Ali Wong. Have you ever
and
seen it, Ben?
No,
Oh, give,
like
give it a
Kelly
shot.
Wong.
It's actually good
Yeah.
for a Netflix original.
and
Yeah.
it would go on to let her record her third best song, which is her collab with Busta Rhymes. Because that is a fucking banger. Objective.
Yeah, Busta as a feature. Can't fail.
Yeah, anyways.
Wasn't that like the most expensive music video ever for a while?
100%.
Yeah,
And,
incredible.
and was. And I think still might be.
Maybe the way to just like all that sync just to on top of speakers and do cymatics. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, the number one movie when Family Ties drops is The Craft.
Give it up for the lesbians.
Yeah, yeah, great classic movie.
Hell
I
yeah.
just watched that last year for the first time. Really liked it.
Wait,
The
what?
Craft.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Veruza
know,
Balk in
right?
the
I
house.
bought, okay,
with
so
everything you know about me, how did that happen?
The Craft, I bought from like a $1 movie bin at CD Plus in Duncan. I was just like flipping through and it was on for $1. And I was like, ooh. And I made it my whole personality for like 6 months when I was 14.
Hell yeah.
All sorts of eyeliner and shit. I'm Veruza Balk, bitch.
100%. It was almost as bad as when I watched The Crow. Yeah. Imagine this face, Song's beard, Crow makeup.
Songs. Okay, also notably opening this weekend, but flopping real hard with under $2 million. Cult classic Barbed Wire.
Hometown hero, Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, she is from from my hometown.
Love her to death.
Yeah,
This was a miss.
I love it.
Well, yeah.
I'm a big fan. It is, for those who haven't seen it, it's a gender flipped Casablanca, and the love interest, the former love interest, the Ingrid Bergman, is fucking Tamara Morrison, Boba Fett. So it's Casablanca with Boba Fett and Pamela Anderson.
And like Pamela
In a
Anderson,
dystopian future where Canada is the only free state and Canadian money is therefore the most valuable.
and like I cannot overstate this is peak Pamela Anderson.
Oh,
She looks so like she looks
the
like a
opening
doll.
5 minutes of the movie is just a gratuitous cheesecake session of her being hosed down in front of a bunch of horny guys.
Like,
It's crazy.
It's
Skip it if you must. because
basically
it
a Carl's
doesn't add
Jr.
anything.
commercial. Like it's basically Paris Hilton on the hood of a car eating a burger. Have you ever seen those?
We're not even going down that rabbit hole.
I remember it being called barbed wire because she had that barbed wire tattoo around the top of her arm.
Also, her name is
And that
Barbara
was, like,
Wire.
Which heavily
So
inspired that fucking
edgy at
tribal
the time.
barbed wire tattoo trend
Right.
that every chud that you know has.
Hey, you don't talk about my brother like that.
Chad is a nice guy.
You should. You should. he regrets it, and he should.
What
Everyone
tribe are
I
you
know
from, Chad?
that I'm good friends with that has one of those things has expressed regret
Mhm.
with unprompted.
Unprovoked.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't even need to ask. They'll be like, "Yeah, no, I'm embarrassed about this."
Bum-ba-da-da.
Yeah. So, Family Ties. We started the X Factor headquarters, but don't get to see anybody else from X Factor. It's just Quicksilver.
No,
Oh,
Simon Cowell.
Forge is there. Forge says something. Scarlet Witch shows up and says, "Oh, our father Django is dying. We need to go visit Django."
Mm-hmm.
And Django says he's been released from his thing. So even though he is dying, this is all part of this big scheme by the High Evolutionary, who you may remember Chakuuji played in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's the same character that we're seeing.
Mm.
The Purple Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Okay.
Like he's got the Animen, right?
Purple
like
Man.
the anthropomorphic Ninja Turtle type people. Right?
I know what you're talking about, but like out of context, the things that you are saying to me are insane.
I mean,
Powerful creatures.
yeah. They're just like genetically engineered. At one point, Wolverine even says, "We're at the island of Dr. Moreau."
Excellent film. Never seen it.
Oh, I saw it in the theater. I know.
Yeah.
It was one of the first times I was aware that I was watching a bad movie as a child.
Oh, you see, I'm not gonna say what mine was.
Fairuza Balk's in it,
Yes, I know.
and she dies.
Listen, if we're gonna go with furs a bulk as a metric for goodness, we shan't.
No, yeah,
Because
no.
we've seen Return to Oz. We watched it.
Yeah.
The whole
Welcome
thing.
to
I just remembered when you
Dr.
said
Moreau.
that I had, and all this shit flashed in front of my eyes. It was fucking terrifying.
Pumpkin head.
Let me
Got
show you
some
a
blackberry.
Scary
Fairuza
and
Balk
nonsense.
with
What?
7 asses. Remember South Park?
The seven-ass monkey joke? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Dr. Moreau reference, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was.
Same with Mr. X from The Simpsons.
Hmm.
Mr. X.
Yeah, there's a Dr. Moreau is like I think it's a
Wait,
fuck.
that was
I think it's like a Jules Verne or something. It's one of like the OG science fiction stories. Is a man making anthropomorphic animal people. It's like a primal idea that's been around for a long time.
I referenced The Simpsons and then started singing the Arrested Development
Mr.
theme
F.
song. Mr. X. I'm like, wait, no, that's a different
That's
show
Mr.
altogether.
F, and that is like everyone talks about how Arrested Development season 4 was so terrible out of nowhere, but like let's be honest, the whole MRF story in Arrested Development season 3. Fuck.
Bova.
Yeah, yeah. So they immediately meet a cow lady named Bova Ayrshire.
Bova D's nuts?
Bo-
You didn't say it, I was going to.
oh shit. And
It'll be
she's like,
better first thing in the morning, we
and she's like,
said.
okay, so like your real mother was this poor woman named Magda, and she came to us and she died because of the actions of this guy, Magneto, which is exactly the fuck like Obi-Wan Kenobi being like, Darth Vader killed your father. It's
Yeah.
like it's the same exact
Come
lie
on.
and bullshit. And but in this case, it's actually being done to manipulate the characters into doing what they want. So it's actually better than Return of the Jedi. So we're at least at better than Return of the Jedi writing with this episode, which I know it's not a great episode. We don't have to follow. Also, let's talk about the animation. Even though this is ACOM, did it feel like it had shittier animation to you guys? It just felt like there were more mistakes. Felt like people's eyes and mouths were shifting around a little bit.
Yeah.
A little rushed, maybe.
Oh yeah, this definitely wasn't a priority episode for
No,
them.
no, and, like it's a big canon episode. There's some cool things about it, like Magneto. The next scene is Magneto goes and visits Xavier at the mansion. He's like, "Hey, I've been given this information that my wife might be alive. What do you think?" And he's coming without the helmet, and the helmet has always been to protect him from Xavier's mind protection. So he no longer fears Xavier. Like after the whole Sanctuary incident, they kind of are.
He wants
They're kind of at
Xavier
peace with
in
each other.
there.
He does.
He
Mhm.
wants he
He
wants
welcomes it
it.
in that
He's
moment.
like, yeah, please be in me.
I have your consent.
So like the X-Men
Excellent.
part of the writing of this episode is pretty decent actually, I think, because the X-Men are being inserted into this story. I don't think that Wolverine and Beast are really in the Avengers annual or whatever where this all was originally done. Originally, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver did debut as part of the X-Men's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in X-Men number 4 or 5, like way back in 1963. They're OG, but very quickly, like a year later, they decided to move those characters into the Avengers and make them heroes, which is why they're part of the Avengers canon. There was that whole lawsuit over being able to use Quicksilver in X-Men and Avengers movies. So we're
So,
coming
yeah, they
at
have to get to Wundagore.
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver arrive at Wundagore. It's Wundagore, I think, but they call it Wundagore here. They meet the High Evolutionary, who's this weird pink and silver metal covered dude because he's been keeping his body alive for thousands of
The
years.
drip. He looks very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good aesthetic.
Objectively cool.
Yeah, like as good as the performance is in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it is a bit of a shame that they sacrificed this look
Yes.
to show so much face. So I do. There will be in the future a version of the High Evolutionary that's more faithful now that they've done a different version. I feel that's kind of usually the reflex.
Faithful.
Like once you've done something that's very different from the original, they tend to be able to be like, boom, now we can just do the original straight thing as goofy as it is, and we'll see if it works.
That, for example, the uniforms. We're finally getting the proper uniforms in a live action movie.
Yeah, because the different, more workable version has created demand for the sillier version. Or now we're open for that. It needed to happen.
Boba tells the twins about their mother.
Yeah.
Gave birth to the mutant twins and then died.
Yeah, so Quicksilver wants vengeance, and she says it's Magneto that did it, so they want to kill Magneto. Then Magneto shows up at the grave of his wife, and someone shows up pretending to be his wife but hiding in the shadows. Then when he grabs her hand or whatever, turns out she's a goat person.
As we all are at some point.
Mhm.
It's a natural part of progression. Then the twins show up and they confront Magneto and they start to attack each other. And then Wolverine shows up and it's a big brawl, but they all get gassed and taken back to Wundagore. And High Evolutionary explains he actually has a plan to use Magneto's family to further his experiments because Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are actually his kids.
Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
It's very similar, I think, to the Mr. Sinister, Jean and Scott thing.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like it doesn't hit as much as it could have because it's something we have already seen.
Imagine if that was Scott's dad and his name was Scott Sinister.
Okay. Um, but the cool part of the episode comes in when Wolverine gets transformed into one of these Ant-Men. He becomes a real Wolverine monster and fucks shit up. He's destroying shit all over the place. And Beast and Professor X show up in the Blackbird and they kind of help everybody calm Wolverine down and
Yeah.
just like resolves itself a little too easily because it's been all built up and plot until this very quick battle. But it is cool because Wolverine is
Super easy, barely
a
an
monster.
inconvenience.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and then the High Evolutionary is just like, oh shit, I'm out of here. And just like takes the whole Noah's Ark ship with all the creatures and just takes off to wherever.
I must return to my
Right.
planet.
And then Magneto's like, oh, I'll get you yet. And it's like, come on, man. Like, just let it go. But he can never do it.
No, if there's one thing Magneto can't do, it's give up a grudge.
Yeah. Um so everything's just fine at the end and Quicksilver goes back to X Factor and like they just know their dad is Magneto. Maybe they'll have a relationship with them, maybe they won't. We don't really get any indicators of any of that.
Oh, and then like Magneto and Charles just have that little chat at the end where he's like, yo, Charles, like, can I talk to you about something? And he's like, what's up, man? He's like, my kids, like, I just told them I'm their dad and they don't like me. And he's like, just give them space. They'll come around. Like it was just so tacked on. Like,
Yeah.
why would they have that conversation? I don't know. Very silly.
Yeah, and so far they have not.
No.
That reconciliation has not gone down
In
this
any
program.
timeline.
No.
Yeah.
I actually had a Quicksilver comic. I bought Quicksilver #1 when it came out, and it was about him leading a team of these Ant-Men because he'd made peace with the High Evolutionary after all this shit. I think it's like there's interesting lore stuff, and the Wolverine Ant-Man thing is cool, but like it's a weaker episode. I give it a 6.
Oh, it's 6.25.
Sure. $1, Bob.
Damn it.
Brilliant.
No, I mean it's cool to see the origin of those characters for once, but yeah,
Those characters
just
that we're
feels
so invested in.
Yep.
yeah.
And now we will get to Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Big reveal.
We sure will. I liked it.
Yeah, I really like this episode. This is another one where I could really see the movie version of it being like, oh, this is the third act of a movie. This is a big, like they really set up all the Nightcrawler stuff. It really pays off. The year's worth of Rogue stories too.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the culmination. We get Graydon Creed coming back and the Friends of Humanity, who are now wearing these like KKK vibey masks,
Yeah.
become more anonymous. And
Yeah,
Grand
more
Wizard.
anonymous. That was what the masks were for.
yeah, yeah.
They didn't want to pay respect
We're
to where
just
they came
spooky
from.
ghosts.
They don't want to
Just-
admit who they are because their politics are embarrassing and their families will reject them.
Yeah, well, it's like those people when you ask them, they're like, "Yeah, what's your political affiliation?" It's like, "Oh, I don't talk about politics." I was like, "Oh, you just did."
Oh yeah, we know what you are from that. That's enough. And it's because you found out that admitting to being conservative doesn't get you laid. It just gets random people swearing at you.
Mm-hmm. Like you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. So this episode was written by Len Uhley, who also wrote the first Nightcrawler episode. It aired on August 28, 1996. And it was actually like a Wednesday. It was like a middle of the week episode. It was rare. So we're kind of between two weekends, so I thought we'd discuss both weekends in the time machine. Um,
Hmm.
Macarena is the song both weekends because
Excellent.
everyone loved to. I can't believe I never found out the fact that it's about a threesome until this year. Like, how come that wasn't new? How come people don't discuss the meanings of songs when they're popular? Like, nobody knew that Who Let the Dogs Out is actually about douchebags ruining a party by hitting on all the girls.
Hmm.
That's what the dogs are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
Who indeed?
okay.
yeah. Uh, so for the first weekend, the August 23rd, 25th weekend, the number one film was The Island of Dr. Moreau. Like the last Marlon Brando theatrical movie, I'm pretty sure. And I
I think
saw
that
it.
might have been the
Yeah, he
spoiler.
looked
But yeah.
great in it.
Yeah, it was really.
I'm gonna show you a monkey with four asses. You can't refuse.
Yeah, 100%. That whole Methuselah bit is based on Brando being the Island of Dr. Moreau. I just want to do a show. Um,
I got a
Yeah,
siren
and
next to
you
the
picked
siren.
me for it.
I know. Also debuting this
Indeed.
week, a Very Brady sequel, which I actually haven't seen this movie. I don't remember it, but I do know that I loved the Brady Bunch movie when I finally got to see it. It was really good.
Shout out to RuPaul.
Yeah, I don't know if RuPaul's in the sequel, but
Shout out to that little blonde girl for giving us the best meme of all time. Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
yeah. Um, Also in theaters at the time in the summer of '96 was a Tin Cup. Kevin Costner, Rene Russo. Come on, you want attention? You're gonna get it on camera.
Yeah.
Tin Cup should have had Billy Bob Thornton instead. Would have been a
Yeah,
better movie.
I mean, it might have. I think he might be in it. To be honest, I've never seen it. Independence
I
Day, A Time to Kill, Escape from L.A.
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Kurt Russell and Peter Fonda surfing a tidal wave of toxic waste.
Snake Plissken
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I miss when movies were funded and written by cocaine.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was a better era for film,
It
at least.
really was.
I don't
Everyone was
know if people's
sweaty
health.
and looked insane.
Yeah, yeah, the sweatiness and
Cinema.
the gritty detail isn't really there anymore.
Mm-mm.
Um, so on the weekend of August 30th to September 2nd, there's a new number one movie, The Crow, City of Angels, the sequel that I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I wasn't aware they did that.
Yeah.
Considering,
Me neither. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't have. Well, the thing is that every Crow movie and TV show is just a remake of the original Crow idea. Same basic.
why? What happened to the guy?
Because Brandon Lee tragically died. The original Crow movie fucks. It's great. It goes
It's
hard.
fucking rad. It's just
Like
what
the
happened
great
afterwards.
that he builds, like the art direction and the sets and everything, really create this vibe. It's like more Batman than Batman in some ways. But it's all style, and the sequels and remakes, I think, just kind of like just don't have as much style. And when you take style and swagger away from an idea and just do it all over again, it's what we call diminishing returns. Okay,
So start with like that
so it starts out
scene.
with Graydon
Yeah.
Creed trying, like I was mentioning earlier. It starts with Graydon Creed trying to rejoin the Friends of Humanity, and they're all dressed up like a KKK convention now.
Let
And
me back in.
He
he
was
really
supposed to
wants to
come
be,
back in as the leader.
yeah, yeah. Even though he was completely embarrassed, and they found out that his dad was a mutant before, and so they have set
Who
something
among
up.
us?
Yeah. So meanwhile, Jubilee and Wolverine are the last ones at the mansion hanging out Halloween candy. And I guess like some other adventures are happening simultaneously that we've seen. Maybe Cyclops' thing that did.
He's off in the Wild West.
What?
Off in the Wild West.
Something like that. This all happens, as it turns out, on a very condensed timeline. So Nightcrawler shows up after they complain about Halloween a little bit. We get some cute little Halloween stuff, kids in costumes. It's cool to see them like honoring and recognizing it. The Four Seasons is the only one where like time seems to matter. Other things in the world, it's like the Four Seasons is the one where they're like, okay, we have room to kind of breathe and expand and tell some stories here and close some storyline angles up, right? Like this is, I think this is the intended like last story about Rogue and Mystique and this whole relationship, right?
Right.
So yeah, Nightcrawler arrives looking for help, and Rogue shows up as well.
I think she's there. She's just not handing out candy.
Yeah, yeah, because she doesn't like children.
She
Or
can't
can you
risk
imagine if
touching
that
them,
glove slipped for a minute though
right?
as she's handing over the
Yeah.
candy? Like, oops.
Trick.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Good night, sugar.
So yeah, Rogue is down to help because she also met Nightcrawler, right? Like Wolverine
I
gave.
just sucked off another kid. Rogue, you gotta stop saying it like that.
Buddy, buddy, buddy. Um, I need to refocus after that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's dark. Okay, Rogue says she's gonna come. She says so. She makes some ironic joke about like how something is as unlikely as her and Nightcrawler being kin. And like I knew what was coming as a kid growing up because it's kind of like an open secret in the comic books at this point. It had come out a couple years earlier. It was pretty funny. Jubilee asks Nightcrawler for guidance on the plane over, and like clockwork, he's like, "Have you thought about Jesus?
What
What about the
Come to
Jesus?"
God, my
about the
son.
Jesus?
Yeah, and you
Isn't
know,
it crazy? What if I looked like Jesus? Would I be a Satanist, do you think? If it was the other way around and I didn't
he's
look like an
consistently right.
evil mutant freak?
Okay, so Wolverine, Rogan, and Wolverine, Rogue, Jubilee, and Nightcrawler, they all arrive at the FOH base because they're trying to find Nightcrawler's mother because he's gotten a message from his mother. Boom, the reveal is that she's Mystique. We've seen this being revealed to us all in images before, like in the Nightcrawler preview. We were shown, the audience was shown that Mystique is his mom in this
Mhm.
image of her dropping him off of a waterfall, which comes back a few times in this episode, and it's like pretty well written, I think. I appreciated all of the symbolism of the waterfall and the attempt to start over again. Water is and water and like the meeting of water and land is often used in film to symbolize like rebirth and new beginnings. And as the story ends, it's I think all these characters are kind of looking for a new beginning in life.
And they're all related, it turns out.
Yeah. So it turns out that this whole thing is a Friends of Humanity trap. Creed sprung it all. He made Mystique a deal that if he could get Nightcrawler, then they could get rid of him and everything, and they like let her go. Because I think essentially the Friends of Humanity did a bunch of research and found out that Braden Creed's family tree is a lot more freakish than just Sabretooth, right?
Hmm.
Anyway, one thing I really like about this episode is the plan fucks up because they did not count on Nightcrawler bringing Rogue, and come back to that recurring theme that Rogue and Storm are just way more powerful than everybody, and they are able to. They are usually the reason that the X-Men win.
Yeah.
Like they tilt things in most directions. Like the episode with Omega Red recently. Boom, Rogue just comes in and just saves the day. She's in the episode just enough that it doesn't feel cheap that she's saving the day. But it's kind of like she's just the ultimate power. So I think that's awesome about the X-Men cartoon is that it's always these two women that save the day. They're the real
Mhm.
powerhouses on the team, even though we're always focused on Wolverine's emotions.
He has so many of them, it's hard not to.
He feels a lot. He
He
feels.
does.
Okay, so Creed and Creed tries to fight Nightcrawler, which is pretty fun.
That was very funny.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
Friends of Humanity attack. Rogue just punches an exit, and they Nightcrawler, does his Bamf thing, tries to escape with Mystique, but she is just in hyper bitch mode, and she just goes off about how he shouldn't be rescuing her because she abandoned him and she like wanted to. She tells the whole story of how she was like with a count or whatever, and her life was ruined because she had this furry blue baby boy. Anyway, his Christianity comes back again. He refuses to condemn her. He just says, "Oh, I just want to learn how to forgive you in time." Like he's the ultimate model of a good Christian.
Mhm. Blue, Devil Tail,
Yeah.
Yeah.
German
Really, just
accent.
like that's what I think of when I think Christianity.
Mhm.
So we're now like it turns out that the Friends Community Base is at a big ass fucking dam, and there's this big action scene with choppers, and they're fucking driving around, and fucking Wolverine is taking out all sorts of Friends of Humanity. It's a pretty fun action sequence. Um, like Creed is in the helicopter trying to kill people. Um, Mystique ultimately decides that she will throw herself over the waterfall as Nightcrawler watches in horror, and she just disappears. He doesn't bamf his way to her to pick her up and get her back or anything. Why use his powers here? So that's a little silly. But ultimately, it's probably really hard to write his powers logically, right? You'd really have to put yourself in his brain
He has
completely
to see what
to,
he's traveling to, I think, right? He has to be able to
yeah,
Yeah,
see.
it's
that's
he's traveling to, but he could like he saw her for enough time, I think.
no, no, no. But I mean, like yeah, like that's what I kind of meant. Like they had to write in. That's what I was gonna say. Is like they had to write in that the caveat that he had to see where he was going, or he would have been way too powerful. Like I feel like that was added
Yeah.
afterwards, being like, well, he can't just show up.
Yeah, they had to nerf him a little bit somehow because he's just too incredibly powerful. And most teleporters kind of like that is the go-to now, and I think because Nightcrawler had that as his problem, he needed to be able to really know that those coordinates were safe.
I was picturing, I think the character Mephisto.
Yeah.
Is that different? He's
Yes,
different.
Mephisto's different. Mephisto's a real demon. Azazel, I think, is like a mutant that people thought was a demon. He acted like he was a demon, like
Hmm.
he lived it up, enjoyed it in a different way than Nightcrawler is all penitent and safe. And back to
Yeah.
this. Anyway, this is a sweet ending. Creed ultimately is forced to crash the helicopter because they outsmart him, and the Friends of Humanity do save him, but they fucking drop him right at Sabretooth's house, which is
Hmm.
a beautiful ending. Like, I assume Creed just fucking beats the shit out of him and makes him his bitch or something. I don't know. I don't think we ever see Creed ever again. We do see Sabretooth, I think. I'm not sure. He's not.
Sabretooth is his dad, right?
Yeah, Sabretooth's his dad.
Yeah.
And Mystique's disappeared off into the blue yonder. And now
Mm.
Nightcrawler and Rogue
Be
know
funny
like
if he just took him over his knee, spanked him all night.
I'm sorry, but the blue yonder comment cannot go unchecked. How dare you?
it just um anyway, Nightcrawler, doesn't really gain a mom like he thought he would, but he has a sister now, so that's cool.
Woo!
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I like this one. This is a good resolution. Like
They
there's
should hug it
a couple
out.
little silly points, but I give this a 9. I really like
Love
it. I
soft
think it's one of
hugging.
the high
Uh-huh.
points of the show. Yeah, you with me on that? A 9, Jamie?
9.5.
Oh,
No, 9.2. I'm gonna
yeah,
be
sure.
yeah.
Whatever. What do you think, Ben?
Solid 9,
Cool.
The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
right?
Mm. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Okay. So, today we are wrapping up the Wolverine's Feelings arc in the middle of season 4 by covering Weapon X Lies and Videotape, The Lotus and the Steel, and have yourself a Morlock little Christmas.
Hmm.
It's important to anybody that's watching along with us that the Disney Plus order is wrong. You do need to watch Weapon X Lies and Videotape before the Lotus and the Steel. I think they were originally conceived to come in the other order, but because Lotus and the Steel wound up getting animated later, I think maybe the director made a choice, and there are flashbacks to Weapon X Lies and Videotape
Hmm.
in Lotus and the Steel. So the timeline.
Disney, if you're listening, we're not saying that you did anything wrong. Please do not send your lawyers.
Leave Disney alone. Leave her alone.
I think Disney would like to be called Nazis, like you just said.
That's right.
Hmm?
Okay. So, Weapon X Lies and Videotape aired kind of as the end of season three, the finale, and I think in primetime maybe on June 11th, 1995. The number one song was Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman by
Oh
Bryan
yeah.
Adams.
Featuring like Julio Iglesias or something. Didn't it have like a
I don't know, it's
couple?
not a song I'm familiar with,
It
and
was from the soundtrack to Robin Hood, I think.
no, that was 1991.
Fun fact,
Uh,
my grandma used to babysit Bryan Adams.
wow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. They grew up down the street from, not from each other. Yeah, from
Did he
their families grew up together. There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in the summer of
Pick
'69?
up his neighbors.
I am not entirely sure about that.
Oh, your story doesn't really cut like a knife or feel very right, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I don't I would put something in here, but I do not know the music of Bryan Adams. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, that
feels
makes sense. That really tracks. He's straight as hell.
I was just gonna say, I was like, my dad loves Bryan Adams, I think. Seems like something he'd like.
Music of straight
Yeah.
people. It's true. I
You
do
might
know
have
one
been
song you're
conceived
gonna
to
know
Bryan
though,
Adams.
right? What's the track he did with Mel C?
I know
Hmm?
that one. Baby, when you're gone.
Wait, no, didn't he do that Heaven song?
I don't
Baby,
think you
you're
even know
all
that.
that I want. None you
Oh,
let
baby, when
in
you're
my arms.
gone. What do I win?
I'm so shocked that you're not getting the references to Baby When You're Gone. Like that's a huge song for you because you love the Spice Girls.
Yeah, no, I know, but I didn't really keep up with their what they were doing after. I like the Spice Girls, but I don't particularly care what those women are doing.
I mean, I
I
think
do care
more,
what
I
Mel
would
C is
argue
doing
that Baby
now.
When You're Gone is a bigger song to Canadians than most Spice Girls songs. Like,
Okay,
it's a huge hit.
good for them.
I don't know how you don't know Baby When You're Gone, honestly.
Jim, do you know how
And it was
many
ubiquitous, right? It was like a
huge
huge
movies
fucking
you have
song.
had to force me into watching? How do you not? You know that most of my holes in pop culture are good things.
I knew the song. I
Just
didn't like
like
the
I'm trying
Spice
to
Girls.
process the holes in pop culture. It's just too much. The number one movie in theaters, June 11th, 1995, was Congo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Super normal movie.
I can't believe Congo was a number one movie. I could never believe it's like starring Dylan Walsh of Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
Also in theaters were Casper
Hell
and
yeah.
Die Hard 3
Wow.
and Braveheart,
Yep.
which had just come out recently. Yeah. So not a great end of summer, really. Casper's like the best movie of those.
You can take our lives,
Hey,
but you'll never take our Casper.
This is the
Famous
officially
line from
the last
Casper.
time I am talking about Mel Gibson this week.
Hmm.
I'm it. I'm done. I've hit my limit.
Don't worry, we're not going to drop anecdotes about him burning down his home or anything.
All
Uh,
right. Well, that's enough out of that. Enough out of you, sugar
huh.
tits. Right? Remember that? Sugar tits.
Sugar tits.
That's what he called a police officer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Sugar tits is the least offensive thing that man has called someone. So,
Hmm. I restrained myself. Yep.
Okay. So Weapon X Lies and Videotape opens up with a flashback showing Wolverine and Silver Fox being attacked by Sabretooth in a log cabin. It's it's a memory, and this is also a scene that shows up in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which
Okay.
there's lots of overlap between that terrible movie and this episode of this show.
I'm like, I've seen this before, but not here. I
Yeah,
felt like I was going insane.
yeah,
It
like
was an
Phil
implanted
Collins'
memory,
daughter.
Jamie.
That's what I thought.
It was a
Phil
soundstage.
Collins' daughter plays Silver Fox in the movie Lynn Collins. Yeah. And of course, Liev Schreiber plays Sabretooth the one time. Every other time we see Sabretooth, he's Tyler Mane, even in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who
he
runs the world?
Schreiber.
turns out that this is a dream, and the other X-Men are all worried, and they're surrounding him as he thrashes around in his sleep. Professor X is trying to use his powers to figure out what's going on with Wolverine. But if you think about it, Wolverine's gone through a whole shitload. Um,
No.
going way back to like he fights his way out of the Hellfire Club and watches the woman he loved like have to sacrifice her life, and he gives part of his life force up to her. And that's the beginning of a long run of crazy fucking things that have happened to him, including being turned into a Wolverine werewolf monster,
Hmm.
uh, having his atoms torn apart and recombined by Proteus. Um,
Yuriko.
yeah.
Up and at them.
What else has happened to Wolverine?
I mean,
Um,
later on, he gets eaten by the Hulk.
Yeah. It's
I'm just
kind of
talking
just
about
a
this
long
recent
line
run in
of bad
season
things
four,
happening to
though.
Wolverine because he makes bad decisions.
Oh, also, his whole existence was erased, and then an alternate version of him had to go back in time and erase himself so that he could exist. So there's all this like deep-seated
Oh
trauma.
yeah.
But I
They
really,
also gave him bonitis.
yeah, the bonitis is real. Then the I really think that what Proteus did, like tearing him apart and turning him into goo and everything, that did the most to kind of
Hmm.
fuck him up and unleash a bunch of memory because like he had all these memory blocks in place, but now they're falling apart and they're opening up. And he's
Yeah, that was all the work that Professor X had done falling apart, right?
yeah, Professor X had apparently helped put his brain back together, and now it's like loose again. So in the middle of all of this, Wolverine just wakes up and he jumps out of bed and he gets in his Jeep and drives off. Jean
Hmm.
Grey is all sad about it. She finds a picture of Silver Fox with a map and coordinates that were delivered to Wolverine recently. So, in addition to all of this crazy shit that's happened to him, somebody has sent him this map. They want him to be remembering this stuff.
Hmm.
Wolverine
Dick move.
gets to the abandoned Weapon X facility, which we know from X-Men 2, as well as Wolverine and even X-Men Apocalypse. It's the Alkali Lake facility that triggers his flashbacks. We see again a couple of clips from earlier episodes with like the doctors that were working on him, and that doctor we know is Lady Deathstrike's dad.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's when they gave him the metal skeleton, right?
yeah, the adamantium skeleton from the Celestial's head that I guess emerged.
Bonitis.
Oh, that's the head that came up in the Eternals.
Okay, so Beast catches up to Wolverine. And he's like, "Oh man, we all love you. We want to be helping with you. You know, we're here for you. At least he's here for you." Then Sabretooth shows up. And he says he'd been sent a letter too, and his coordinates, and he thinks Wolverine's the one who set him up. We've all seen this scenario before where everybody is, pushed into this situation. They both have flashbacks of fighting Omega Red and Sabretooth, insisting that they leave other teammates to die. Really nice to see Omega Red here. This might actually be the best use of Omega Red in the whole series, better than his own individual episodes.
Hmm.
Because this is like, the past that Wolverine had always hinted to in those episodes.
You're
Um,
not wrong.
yeah. Then Silver Fox shows up alive, apparently, along with this guy Maverick, who I don't know, yellow armor. What do you guys have a take? Do you guys have a take on Maverick? He wasn't in the movies or anything.
Maverick and
He had a weird
Goose.
accent.
Yeah, kind of a strange character. He was used heavily at this point in the comics, like the mid 90s.
Hmm.
And then I think he maybe got the legacy virus or something and just stopped being a thing. But they really tried to make Maverick a thing for a while. And this was like he's shown up in the background of flashbacks before, but this is the first time he's really like given a character and
Stop trying to make Maverick a thing. It's not a thing.
his whole story is like he's
Thing.
trying to get back to his daughter or whatever. Very stereotypical 90s action stuff. He's just
Classic.
got a yellow
I just
costume.
want my kids back.
Hmm. Silver Fox says that Weapon X has been fucking with their memories, and she thinks their flashbacks were implanted and staged at the Weapon X facility. Which, I guess, like, we haven't really seen too many of these memories before, but I do remember this really sticking with me and being like, okay, this is Wolverine's lore. I
Mhm.
get it. And then it showed up in the movie, which really reified it. Um, Beast finds a computer and he knows how to use it better than any of them. So, like, what were they gonna do if Beast didn't show up? You know?
They had not thought that far ahead. I just know it.
Yeah,
He saves the day a couple times in this little run.
totally.
Interesting.
He's the rogue of the episode
Hmm.
with his brain. Uh,
He's like if Rogue were, a man, I guess.
yeah, so he
Fuzzy.
reveals by using the computer that they did go through hypnotic suggestion so they could be used as sleeper agents and have memories activated or reactivated, like sleeper personalities, and then brought back to work for Weapon X whenever they wanted. And then they find this door that can only be unlocked by the DNA of all four of them. Isn't that super easy, barely an
Interesting.
inconvenience?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Marvel really likes the sleeper agent thing. They were really worried about
Gotta
that for a
trap it
while,
all.
hey?
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a big theme.
Winter
Although, like,
soldiering.
the Winter Soldier stuff actually comes way later. Winter Soldier, as a story, comes from about 2003, 4, I think.
Which is crazy because it just Red Scare propaganda.
No, that's the Red Skull and stuff. It's more like post-Soviet Union, like, reflectivity. Uh, it's written by, I actually read those comics, the Winter Soldier comics, and they were very, very good. Ed Brubaker. So this guy, Ed Brubaker, wrote this really good 5-year run on comic books that introduced,
Yeah,
that turned
I know that name.
Oh, okay. How do you know of Brubaker?
Uh Daredevil?
Yes, Ed
Yeah,
Brubaker also wrote.
he did a run of Daredevil that I don't I know of it through osmosis through How Did This Get Made? Um because they got really really stoked on it. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go look this guy up." And then I went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, he's a great writer. I think he maybe started off in novels before he wound up writing comic
Yeah.
books. Um, yeah, he just wrote some really good stuff. There was this rule in comic books always that Bucky was the guy, one guy who stayed dead, and like there was no story good enough to bring Bucky back from the dead. And then this guy had this story of him being a sleeper agent, which
Who the
kind of
hell is
basically is a
Bucky?
refinement in some ways of this like Weapon X ideas that works being explored a little bit more clumsily by writers like Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza, Scott Lobdell.
Excelsior.
Yeah. So they punch their hands in even though Beast warns them like why would there be this thing that only the four of you can unleash? And it turns out that behind it there's an evil robot that wants to kill them. It's super powerful. It looks a lot like the Silver Samurai robot at the end of the Wolverine movie, I feel.
Mm.
It's a very like Rob Liefeldian design, large
Shredder style.
spikes and huge guns on everything. Super hyper intimidating, edgy on top of edgy on top of edgy.
Hmm.
They do manage to destroy it by working together, but then it turns out there's a bunch of them, and they're just going to keep coming. And one wonders, okay, who made these things, and why aren't they using these Talos robots to take over the world? I don't think we ever see these Talos robots ever again.
No.
So
They're
interesting.
specifically for eliminating those four
They had to go back
mutants
to their
if they
planet.
get bad.
Yeah, so like Beast manages to save them because he's the smartest one. They would have definitely would have died without him. So I do like that about it. That
Hmm.
Yeah, so everyone just decides to split up and go their separate ways. It feels like this is the beginning of something, and I'd like to see more of where this is going, and I'm not 100% sure we do get more of it. So that's kind of a knock, but we should just be judging the episode on its own, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, and I give it maybe an 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say like a 7.5.
Sure.
I'm going to give it a solid 8 plus 6.69 because of the reference to the movie Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which is such a great thing to reference on a children's show,
Oh
Ice.
yeah, that we really should talk about that. I haven't seen the
right?
movie, but I know that that is an inappropriate thing to be referencing.
It was Steven Soderbergh's like breakout indie hit.
So anyway, let's roll on and get into the Lotus and the Steel, which I really feel is kind of like the second part of this. It aired February 3, 1996, so a long, long time later. The number one song was "Creep" by TLC, and the number one movie was Black Sheep. Tommy Boy himself, Chris Farley, and David
Oh
Spade's
yeah.
last movie together
Yeah.
because of history. I don't even think like was Chris Farley
David
still
Spade's
alive
last movie.
in '96?
Yeah. R.I.P.
No,
David Spade.
Joe Dirt definitely came out.
Joe. Yeah, I
Um,
was gonna say Joe Dirt and Just Shoot Me exist.
Also coming out this weekend was White Squall. So we had Black Sheep and White Squall, and Chris Farley beat Ridley Scott and Jeff Bridges, making a historical drama.
That sort of black and white thinking won't get us anywhere.
So this episode was written by Ted Pederson and Francis Moss. Um, so we start by addressing what I've been discussing all episode. That Wolverine's just got a whole lot going on in his feels. Xavier's giving him a full-on therapy session this time, trying to get to the root of his anger. Wolverine keeps denying that all of these things are the problem, but clearly he's like, it's still the problem. Proteus is still the problem. Being turned into a werewolf man is still the problem. Obviously, he doesn't know about the whole reality being wiped out or not, but finding out about the Weapon X shit, that's sure fucked up. Like all of his memories that he's been having flashes to are just were actually sets
Mm,
and staged events being used to control him. To what end?
To what end?
indeed.
But he did find that like carved thing. So Silver Fox doesn't think that that they were ever really in love, but Wolverine knows it's true that they were. Which I like better than Silver Fox just betraying him to be a femme fatale bitch in X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's shitty.
Silver Fox is looking for romance in the Texas chain smoke flash dance ass pants.
Yeah.
So during the 80s cultural obsession with Japan, Wolverine started having a bunch of adventures over in Japan. It was really, he had a bunch of history over there. He went over and fought the Hand, had a whole bunch of relationships. And this episode is kind of like their way to pay homage to that.
I
It's
fucking knew Wolverine was a weeb.
it's also like the basis of the movie The Wolverine, which I think is like a banger and maybe the best Wolverine movie until the last 15 minutes when it gets a little silly. And there's a
Da
dumb.
Don't judge
Wolverine.
me. 5'4" is average over there, bub.
I mean, Jackman's pretty fucking tall in that. But I really like the middle of that movie when he loses his powers and he's just like gotta fend for himself and protect this lady who's like the first person he's been attracted to since Jean. Right? You know? So
I'll
yeah,
wait for you until I find a hot Japanese girl, Jean.
I do like this whole like X-Men go to Japan sort of thing. Like, aw, they're going on a field trip.
yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of it, you know?
I mean, just Jubilation Lee, specifically.
Jubilation Lee.
Yeah, a little Chinese girl who's gonna go to Japan this episode.
I was just gonna say, I was like,
No
do you
recognition of
think?
that. No acknowledgement.
I was like, do you think they were just like, yeah, well, I mean, she's Asian, we'll send her. She can
She'll
go.
blend right in.
So earlier the day of this therapy session, Wolverine had freaked out on Jean in traffic and had like a road rage incident. Not on Jean, on Jubilee. And he decides that he's got to like leave the X-Men and he's going to go back to Japan where things are simpler. And I hope the implication is that he's going back to a place where things are simpler because it's rural and on a
No.
farm and not because Japan is simpler. Because
just not, you know.
Yeah. Have you been to
What year did this
Harajuku
come out?
District? Come on.
This was 1996, so we were
Okay.
definitely living in the Lord of Racism.
I was just gonna say, okay, all
Japan was
right,
definitely being objectified and simplified here, unfortunately.
for
Um,
sure.
yeah, like he goes and stays with a monk, and he's working on calming his anger through meditation. I'm sure
I
that
like Buddhist Wolverine.
it sets up a new life in Japan, and he's chilling out. And I assumed while watching it that it takes some time, but when we get to next episode, we'll find out maybe not. Um, Yeah, he makes friends with a girl in the village named Kisara. Like it's not Yukio or Mariko like in the movies and the comics. It's just this other girl named Kisara. So the people don't get mad because she doesn't have like the epic story of Mariko. Like Mariko from the movie, everyone falls in love with her because Tao Okamoto is just like radiant as her. In the comic books, Lady Mariko dies. She is killed actually by her father's ninjas. And I kind of thought that's how the movie would end. I think that's how Darren Aronofsky's version of that movie would end. He actually developed the Wolverine movie where he goes to Japan. He wrote it
Oh.
and was all set to go. But then his marriage to Rachel Weisz was falling apart because she was leaving him for Daniel Craig. And it was during the Fukushima situation. And there was a very real possibility that if he went to Japan to shoot a movie, that he would lose custody of his kids.
Hmm.
So he had to give up the Wolverine movie, and James Mangold got it and just kind of came in and just did what the studio wanted, and then turned around and did make Logan, which is an even better Wolverine movie. But there's kind of like this element that's always there of like, oh man, we missed out on Darren Aronofsky's Japan movie, which like all the bones are there for it to have been something fucking incredible. It would have been a different movie, right? Okay, so Logan gets in a fight with Soichi, Kisara's brother, but he does keep his calm together. Then he goes out into the woods and he's like starts to just use his claws. He's been using his claws to do farm shit, and he is a badass farmer because of it. That's cool. Bam, the Silver Samurai shows up. He's another guy who can teleport. He's wearing the super cool silver suit of armor, and he says to Wolverine, "Don't fuck around. Don't be here. You're in my shit." Basic threats. I really wish we got this version of the Silver Samurai in Logan because he's supposed to be like this cool, threatening mutant. Like a samurai that can teleport is a pretty fucking cool villain.
Objectively, two cool powers.
Yeah. I mean, samurai isn't really a power, but he's got this cool suit and he's good.
Yeah, I
I
was
would
gonna
argue
say.
samurai is a power.
Yeah. And then, like, right after that, Japanese mobsters show up in town demanding protection money from the locals. This is a very basic plot, like, kind of like a Clint Eastwood High Plains Drifter. Like, you show up in a rural community, tough guy helps out, and then you've got to protect the people from the gangsters. Oh, even Gran Torino is this basic plot, right?
Is this a ramen western?
Yes. Perfect. That's why I appreciate you.
That was really well done.
Yeah,
I'm here
so they
for.
say they have 2 days to pay, and then they set the temple on fire because they're fucking pricks. Wolverine trying to keep himself calm, but he really just wants to beat these guys up.
You got 2 days, and just to show you how serious I am, you got 0 days until I burn your shit down.
And you owe me double.
Yeah. Then Jubilee shows up conveniently, just allowed to travel on her own. She's like 13 or something.
Oh, okay, perfect.
14?
I was gonna ask that question in the Morlock episode, but perfect. We can talk about that now. She's supposed to be 13?
I'm gonna say 14. We'll get into the timeline in a bit here, but like,
He's way shorter in the Morlock episode.
Great,
Weirdly.
great.
well, that's
No, I just there
I
was
don't
a
know.
period in the Morlock episode where I was like, if she isn't a child, this is weird. So, I mean, 12 is object.
Mhm.
You're, yeah, okay. Let's keep going. You'll find out.
I generally think she's like 14, 15, maybe
Okay,
15. We'll say 15.
cool.
Yeah, but still, why is she flying over all over the world without any escorts? Like any other X-Men should have come,
Mhm.
right?
Or they have a plane.
For real.
The Black Bird.
There's
They could have
lots,
sent the Black Bird.
Like I
Black
simultaneously really
Bird.
appreciate that they're dealing with Wolverine's trauma and all of that shit, but there's so many holes. How could two writers write something so flimsy? Don't you have the second person there to like catch this stuff as it's falling?
Maybe it's one of those things where one of them thought the other one was doing it, and then the other one was like, "I thought you finished it," and then they just had to like finish it really quick.
Anyway, Wolverine decides to go home alone and they set some traps for the villains. And then some of the monsters get caught, but a lot of them are dealt with by the villagers. And the Silver Samurai shows up, and Wolverine has a really cool fight with him. Kind of learns how to anticipate what's going to happen, and that's how he beats Silver Samurai, which is pretty cool.
Unagi.
Kind of like in my head canon, he's kind of learned from hanging out with Nightcrawler a little bit how to deal with a teleporter.
Mhm.
Then him and
What would
Jubilee.
Jesus do, Bub?
Yeah, he just kind of says, "Okay, it's time to go home, I guess." I think this episode thinks that Wolverine is done, but I don't really think that he's really learned his full lesson.
After he kisses that Japanese girl on the mouth, like he's just like, "Come here for a second," and just like fucking plants one on her. He's like, "Peace, I'm out of here." And she's
Weird
like,
message that lots
"Okay."
of cartoons set out that where male characters would just like kiss a random woman on their way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. I don't know. I feel like I give this one maybe a 6, 5.5.
yeah, I'm gonna go with
Song
6.
execution.
It's fine.
I like the Japanese parts of it. Like,
Yeah.
solid 6.6.
Yeah.
Okay. Just 6.6. Got it.
Mhm.
So we're going to end this episode today and the Wolverine's Emotions trilogy with Have Yourself a Morlock Little Christmas, which aired December 23rd, 1995, during the reign of that Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men song, number one.
Not the Mariah Carey song you're thinking of around Christmas time.
That's right.
No, no, yeah. Before that became a yearly annual annoying tradition, that there actually was just a genuine Mariah Carey number one song. It's like One Sweet Day or something. You guys know it,
That was
don't
right.
you?
One fine day.
No, I think that's
Sweet day.
Yeah, you're right. That's someone else.
a movie named after a much whiter song. Um, when this episode aired, Toy Story was still number one, but Waiting to Exhale debuted very strongly at number two with like 22 million. But most notably was flopping real massively was Cutthroat Island with 4 million in more theaters than Waiting to Exhale. Yeah.
Pretty sure I saw that one in the theater.
You saw Cutthroat Island in theater?
I was the one.
Wow. I mean, I think it's fine. Lots of worse movies, but especially today. Gina Davis crushing it. There's some chintzy effects in a couple sequences, but Gina Davis is having a lot of fun and basically playing the same character as Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Captain Jane Sparrow.
If they
Oh,
were
I'm
to
pretty
make
sure I saw it with
another
my
Pirates of
dad
the
and
Caribbean
maybe
movie,
my
they should
mom
totally
too.
bring Gina Davis back for it.
Mm-hmm.
Have her play her character as an old lady. That'd be badass.
100%.
True.
Correct. So before we really get into the plot of this episode, we got to talk about the timeline because up till this point, I'd kind of assumed, okay, we're in season 4, we're about almost 4 years after the beginning of the show, right? Like Jubilee
Naturally.
should be
Yeah.
17, but no, they're saying this is Jubilee's first Christmas as an X-Man, which is, does that imply that this entire show has happened over a year?
I
Yeah, I
think
mean, they
it
just had
does.
Halloween a few episodes ago, so maybe.
Well, yeah, but that was pretty recently. But here's my headcanon. They didn't consider her a full X-Men for the first while that she was around.
She had
Not
to get
until
the
you take
surgery
a
first.
life.
Yeah.
What?
Not until
we
you
went
take a
totally
life.
different directions with that one.
Yeah, you guys really went different places with it. But I feel like, like
She had to get that Tommy John surgery first.
Jubilee's kind of like not really on a lot of missions at first. I feel like it's like
Make her a stronger pitcher. You know what I'm saying? Tommy John surgery. Yeah. Go on.
I have this picture in my head that season one starts in like the summer when she's 13, about to turn 14 or so. And
Mhm.
then most of season one, because it has to. Season one has to be in a different year than the rest of it because President Senator Kelly is running for president, and in
Yeah.
season two, Senator Kelly is now President Kelly. So there has to be an overlap of a full season. There has to have been a Christmas season here. Like my head canon is that the first episode of season one is about 18 months before this point.
Hmm.
And season one is kind of like over the summer of when she's 13. And then we get a big gap of time around the election. Like we don't, you could say that season one ends maybe September, October, right? Because the election is in full swing and they save the guy who's running for president and he turns positive to mutants and then he gets elected. And then he's newly elected. So season two kind of has to start in like January, February of the following year. So 1993.
Yeah, they have their
And
elections in November and the new president becomes president in January, right?
yes. And like Bill Clinton became president in January of 1993. So I think that we are at the time of this Christmas episode in Christmas 1993. And season two and three and four all occur over a year. That's like 40 episodes. This shit is happening constantly to them. They don't
Mhm.
get much downtime at all. I think as much as possible that could be happening simultaneously is. I also think the Phoenix Saga stuff is usually a couple days at a time, not a big period of time. But it'd be interesting to maybe look back on it and try and like guess how what days everything's happening on because you could really piece together a timeline because this is a jam-packed fucking 1993.
Mhm.
I didn't do nearly as much. I started grade three.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say how old I was because both of you get mad.
Mhm.
Diaper wearing fuck. Um, Also, this episode was written by Larry Parr and Eric Lewald, a rare appearance by the story editor who came up with the whole deal. I think that he maybe there's a world where this was written to happen earlier and salvaged for later, and maybe that's what he did, or maybe he just really feels personally attached to this.
It's a weird fucking episode, man.
Yeah,
When
why
which
don't
what
you
season did Storm take leadership
it's
of the
like
Morlocks?
season one, episode five.
Yeah.
We have like Storm has not interacted with the Morlocks since. We saw them at the beginning of season three, which would be like so that would be maybe happening in August or September 1992. And the beginning of season three, I'm gonna say that's like have a May or so of 1993. That's the last time Wolverine had any interaction with the Morlocks. But Storm has ignored these people for almost a year and a half. She is a terrible fucking leader.
Yeah.
Like the moral of this episode is really that Storm has done a terrible job as leader of the Morlocks.
Yeah, I like not to skip ahead, but I'm gonna. Um
It's fine.
the the end of the episode where she's like, "All right, give me that. Give me that little stick." Like makes this whole deal of taking back the little stick and then is like, "Yeah, yeah, I know. Actually, I'm just gonna give this to you."
It
It's like,
feels so
"Okay."
disrespectful. It makes Callisto seem like even more of a just a second rate loser.
Right? Like he should have been like, "No."
Callisto in the comics is like this very angry, powerful leader, strong woman who is willing to betray people to keep the Morlocks alive. A really complex character. There is a great Callisto performance somewhere in the future, I think. Although I feel like
Why?
that's more maybe when X-Men is able to be a live action TV show than movies. I don't know if Callisto really is a big enough character to fit into movies. Daniel Ramirez played her in X-Men 3 and she was basically just eye candy in the background.
Mikey Madison.
Hmm.
Yeah, Mikey
Great
Madison
choice.
would be incredible, but I bet she would turn it down because I think she's not going to do something like this.
Mhm.
I just don't think she wants to. She has her like she has her
she has her franchise canon moment, right? Like she is an important part of the Scream franchise. She'll always have that. Don't want to
Mhm.
say anything else. But, you know, she doesn't seem interested in taking much money. She turned down Star Wars Starfighter, a movie with Ryan Gosling,
Good for her.
to make like a small ass indie movie with like $4 million budget or something crazy tiny. Like she's not
Awesome.
trying to cash in, which is good for
Yeah,
her.
Yeah,
she's the
I
real
mean,
deal.
like having Honora under her belt she's kind of got her own. Yeah, I don't
She
know.
also was on a TV show for years, like a sitcom. So she has like she may earn a ton of money as a
Hmm.
sitcom actor. She does not need to like she was probably banking and investing in shit before she turned 18. She doesn't need to do things for money, I don't think.
Cool.
It sounds like
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely tracks with her trajectory.
yeah, she's
Um,
it can be an artist.
so quick question. Why does one of the Morlocks have big Japanese animation eyes, but
'Cause
none of the other ones do?
what's their powers, right? It's like how the one guy that they call
Yellow.
Ape has like an ape-like face. They're just the Morlocks are the ugly ones. Do you remember that?
So in Xavier's mansion, Cyclops, Rogue, and Jubilee are decorating their Christmas tree, while Jean Grey and Gambit are in the kitchen preparing Christmas dinner.
And Jean Grey's being
Jubilee?
a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's just being so mean and judgmental of his cooking,
I would love a Cajun Christmas dinner.
right?
right? I know everything he was describing. I was like, wait, this sounds fucking bomb. Like when
Mhm.
you see it at the okay, yeah, well, we'll get to
Sucks
it.
that she's just being a scold. Like, I don't like this characterization for Jean.
Yeah.
Jean.
So Charles and Storm are watching everybody on video monitors, and they're commenting on about how they're stoked about how happy everybody is. Then there's this blast, and they think they're under attack, but nope. Beast's cranberry glaze has exploded. He's covered in fucking red goo. Um,
It
Logan,
appears I've been glazed.
yeah. Logan shows up and he's all PTSDing because he's still going through a whole bunch of shit, and he decides to leave the mansion. That's when Jubilee says, "Oh, let's go Christmas shopping," because she's going with Aurora, and she convinces him to tag along, thinking it'll lift his spirits. Jubilee just loves fucking shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Logan fucking hates it. The three decide to go ice skating at Rockefeller Center, and again, we got Jubilee having a great time, and Wolverine is just being a fucking pissy grouch. And then Logan hears a siren, and they see an ambulance fucking being chased, and it almost crashes into the ice, but Aurora uses her powers to save the day, so nobody gets hurt.
Storm.
Yeah. uh, we see two of the Morlocks get out of it, and they tell Aurora that Leash is sick and they need medicine for him really, really badly. And they try to take him to the hospital, but his powers are out of control. In the comics and the movies, Leech's powers are that he actually drains other mutants of their powers. But I think for this, he just makes electrical stuff fizz out because the whole story wouldn't work if Leech had his real powers of seeping mutant powers away from other people. Right? Because Wolverine's healing factor wouldn't mean shit.
Or it would work instantly and it wouldn't be a story. Wouldn't be a challenge or
It'd be
something.
super easy to
Yeah,
do the inconvenience.
there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So they go into the Morlock tunnels, I think, and they find him. And Logan is a combat medic, so he assesses him. And I really like this, like, mention of his war history, and he just like jumps to doing a duty, which is really cool. But he says that they can't move Leech. Storm can't fly him because he will die if they go. Um,
His experience was in the Civil War, though. So he's like, we got to amputate before gangrene sets in, bub.
no, he actually
Like,
served
oh,
in World War II as well, which
you broke your toe? We're gonna have to cut your leg off.
Mhm.
Jubilee asks if Logan can give his blood and use his powers to help, but Logan says it's impossible. Aurora says like, "Oh, are you afraid? Are you a little bitch?"
You little baby.
I don't like needles, bub.
And
Logan mentions that it's worked twice, but didn't work 20 times. So, like, that's a pretty fucking low success rate. I
That
get why he doesn't want to give people the false hope that they might live if he gives them.
yeah.
This,
He's laying out empirical data that like this is probably not gonna
he's
work.
watched 20 people die in the hopes that he will save their life. That's
The
fucking
look in their
crazy.
eyes, bub.
The last one
Yeah,
being
no wonder he's such a fucking asshole all the time.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we're really seeing the burden of him remembering everything manifesting here. I think this is like his PTSD being like, don't do it, don't do anything at all, don't put yourself out there, you
Mhm.
know. And Aurora like continues to push, and then he's like, "This only happened because you were fucking ignoring them. He wouldn't be in a bad position if you
Are
would
you
just
using Storm's government name, Jim?
what?
Aurora?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry, it's just like I'm more comfortable using the
Just on a
human
first name
than
basis with
superhero
Aurora.
names a lot of the
Right?
time. I don't know.
All right.
So anyway, Rogue flies Beast there, and he shows up right after the transfusion goes through.
Beast
And we think that
Beast is
he's
like the narrator, but like
Beast does
I
nothing. Beast
he
is Indiana
really
Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He comes in and is just like opens the jar and points to Logan and is like, "Oh, but you listened it."
he provides some commentary in the background. Like it's really like you did not need to be here, man.
Yeah, it could have been an email. I don't. There's no real need for Beast and Rogue to be in this episode, except to.
Have them in their episode. So while this is happening, Jubilee goes to wander around where the Morlocks live and is like, "Wow, these guys are so poor.
Yeah,
They
she
have
really
nothing."
objectifies them. She makes friends with a little girl that looks like Leech named Mariana, who they
Look
kind
at
of.
their Charlie Brown Christmas tree. So sad.
Yeah, the Christmas tree sucks so much. Um,
Leech found it.
And then Mariana asks him to stay for dinner, but Jubilee's like, "Oh no,
Oh, I want to
gotta
eat
get back to
good
Gene and
dinner.
Remy. We're fucking arguing over food. Gene and Remy. I'm gonna
I
use
want to
food."
eat a good
I was just gonna
non-Cajun
say
dinner.
this has gone too far.
So now Hank is there with the Morlocks, and he says that everything's gonna be just fine. And then we do the scene that we talked about earlier, where Aurora gives Callisto, I don't know her real name, the Scepter of Power. Actually, probably is her real name.
Yeah, the scepter, that's the word I was
Callisto
looking for. Thank you
Flockhart.
so much. Um yeah, the end of this and then like the end of this episode is basically an after school special.
Oh yeah, it's so corny. Like
It's
Jubilee
holy
gives
shit.
her gifts to the Morlocks. A bunch of the gifts are food, and
Oh,
I'm
Which is
just like,
weird.
that's a
okay.
crazy sentence in and of itself.
Thank
The
you so
gifts
She
are
was
much
giving
because
shopping
like
people
on
like fucking
Christmas Eve,
pasta
so
and
maybe she's just
sandwiches.
like, "Oh
the
shit, everything's sold
yeah,
out.
like
Let's just go to the
the
grocery store."
implication was that Jubilee was super set to give someone a turkey for Christmas.
Vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
could
was
also
nuts.
see how like the story editor just needed to write a bunch of it just because it was a real messy, difficult thing to make work. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, they all decide to stay with the Morlocks, and Jean is just continuing to be a huge bitch. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we can warm up all this food that you finished tomorrow."
Holy shit.
Gambit's just fucking huge pissed about that, and there's no resolution to that. It's just like it ends with them being angry at each other, but no one's gonna eat the food because Jubilee, Wolverine, Rogue, and Hank are and Aurora are hanging out with the Morlocks for their Christmas, and Xavier's like, "No, it's cool. Just knowing that you did the right thing as a human being is better for me than you being here." And you realize that he just fucking hates them all so much, and the
He's
best
like,
thing
oh
to
yeah,
possibly
no.
have
He's like,
for Christmas
wait.
is to have nobody
You just
around.
know that he rolled off, just like grabbed a bottle of whiskey and just got tuned.
Bourbon.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Hand me
So,
the bourbon, share.
yeah, what are your numbers on this one, fellas?
I'm gonna give her a 7. It was fine. It was entertaining. It was a Christmas episode, so my standards are already so low.
Yeah, it's true. This is the thing you're dealing with. I think I give it a 7 too. I think I like watching it through and really seeing the Wolverine progression, it seems to me that like the life transfusion saving leech in this one kind of gives him the pathos that he's been looking for
Yeah.
the past while. And so I actually really liked it this time through. Even though there's problems and there's some weird junky bits here and there, I give it a 7.
Yeah.
Give it a 5.4.
Ah, fuck you.